Hello everyone and welcome. In the last lesson, we had discussed the COUNTIFS function. In this lesson, we'll continue our discussion of summary functions with AVERAGEIFS, SUMIFS, and SUMPRODUCT. Let's begin with the SUMIFS function. The SUMIFS function is quite similar to the COUNTIFS function. The only difference is that the COUNTIFS function returns a count based on certain criteria, while the SUMIFS function returns a sum based on certain criteria. Let's look at an example. Recall this table from the last lesson. It contains a list of sales representatives, their assigned territory and region, sales target, and actual sales. Based on this data, we need to perform this analysis where we need to sum up the sales target and the actual sales for each region. So basically, we need to sum up the sales target column wherever the region column is north. Similarly, we need to sum up the actual sales column wherever the region column is north. We can do this quite easily with the SUMIFS function. I can write equal to SUMIFS. Now the first argument is called sum range. This is the range of values which will be summed up. So because we are summing up sales target, in this case it should be range F5 to F98. The next argument is criteria range 1. This is the range containing those values which will be tested for the criteria. In this case, the criteria is north. We want to sum up sales wherever region is north. So the criteria range 1 will be the range containing the regions. And finally, we have criteria, which in this case is north. Now I close the bracket and press enter, and you can see that I have the sales target for the north region. Now the way the SUMIFS function works is the criteria range is tested for the criteria, and wherever the criteria is satisfied, the corresponding elements of the sum range get added up. Now I can copy this formula and paste it in the whole table to calculate the sales target and the actual sales by region. Notice how I have smartly used the dollar signs such that the same formula works for the full table. The next function is AVERAGEIFS. The AVERAGEIFS function is identical to the SUMIFS function. The only difference is that the SUMIFS function returns a sum while the AVERAGEIFS function returns an average. Apart from that, these two functions are identical. So we move on to the next function called SUMPRODUCT. As the name suggests, it returns the sum of products. In this example, we have the quantities of certain items in column C and their unit price in column D. And we need to calculate the total bill amount by multiplying the quantity and unit price of each item and then summing it up. Now one way of doing this is to calculate the amount for each item and then summing up to get the total amount. This approach is simple, but it's also a little tedious. The SUMPRODUCT function can help you do this in one simple step. I can write equal to SUMPRODUCT array 1, comma, array 2, and it gives me the same output as the previous calculation. So SUMPRODUCT basically multiplies array 1 and array 2 element by element and returns the sum of those products. Now the number of arrays in this example was 2, but you can increase it beyond 2 as well. And with that, we have completed our discussion of summary functions. Join me in the next video for a quick recap of summary functions and for some tips on how to use these summary functions properly. So see you next time, and as always, thanks for watching.